So you're going to Cannes. That's a big deal. Don't let anybody think otherwise. So you might only be going to the short film corner and you're not in competition. That doesn't matter. That comes with all the same perks as if you were in competition. That gives you access to market film. It is a big deal. It's something you should be happy about, and there's no point of even going if you don't realise how wonderful an opportunity it is. So to start off with, the best thing you can do is to be informed, to watch blogs like this one. What I did was I got a copy of this book, okay, on Amazon, and I read it cover to cover, and I think I read it each year that I've gone. I've been to the Cannes Film Festival 3 years running, and I'll be going again this year if I could afford to. So I do know a little bit about how to survive in that market, and it's hard work. There's some things that you should know. So the first thing, not the first thing, but the first thing I'm going to bring up, I've got a list of things, is jet lag is your enemy, especially if you're coming from New Zealand. The flights are like 26 to 36 hours of suffering. You're going to have to go through that. There's no choice. And along with the actual flights, transferring from flights is difficult. It's painful, especially if you've got a lot of carry-on luggage. Just be aware of that. Try and keep your carry-on luggage light if you can. And be informed about the airports that you're going to where you have to transfer in advance, so that you don't get too stressed out in between flights, because that's a problem as well. You don't want to take a lot of stress with you when you get off the plane there, and it's going to be stressful anyhow. So number one, jet lag is your enemy. Now I found this product called No Jet Lag. It's a New Zealand product, and I highly advise taking it. It made the jet lag a lot easier. But then when you get there, the other thing is that you're going to be suffering from a little bit of insomnia, being that it's a completely different time zone. And you can get across the counter sleeping pill called Donomil. Okay, it only comes in these little small containers. Go grab yourself, it's prescription. It's not prescription, you can get it over the counter at the chemist there. Go grab yourself some Donomil. It's not hard to find a chemist there. You just look for those flashing crosses on the sides of the building. Okay, they're everywhere. There's more chemists than anything else in Cannes. So the second thing, take a printed map. I know it's great. You've got mobile phones, you've got Google Maps, you've got your laptops, your tablets, all that kind of stuff. But after you've done 36-hour flights, all those devices go flat, and you'll end up getting off the train or getting off, getting to Nice and jumping into a cab, and then realizing you don't know where you need to go. I'd advise making sure that you've written down the hotel or the accommodation where you're staying in advance, so that you know where it is, even if your device has gone flat. I made that mistake the first year, and I just made it to my accommodation. I was very lucky just to make it just before check-in time, which was about 11 o'clock at night. Okay, because I was coming via train from Paris to Cannes, and then I had to try and find a cab. And that's the other thing, finding cabs isn't so easy. It's not like they're on the side of the road everywhere. And you'll find there are lots of cabs going around, but you can't flag them down, okay? And they just won't stop for you. Okay, I know that sounds ridiculous, but the cab drivers won't stop for you. They go to the cab pickup points, they drop you off, and then they drive back to the cab pickup points. Or if you're lucky, you can book them in advance. But for the most of it, that's very difficult to do as well. So number three, so 2 was take a printed map. Number 3 is book your accommodation in advance. It's a big deal. Accommodation is a big deal. I know it's tempting to go as cheap as you can, and there's nothing wrong with doing things on a budget, but I'd advise trying to get a few people together and putting money together for an apartment somewhere. I know it's awesome to have their accommodation right on the beachfront, but that can be a problem with cost. So don't be afraid to go up to Le Cannet or one of the other areas and find accommodation a little bit further away from the main strip. The closer you get to the festival, the more you're going to be paying for accommodation. Okay, and the other thing about that is, again, same as sharing accommodation costs, strength in numbers is important. Because, I mean, when you're on your own and you're pulling those trundler carts full of your clothes and your luggage, and you've got your your wallet and everything like that and your carry-on, or in your purse or whatever you have. If you're on your own, you're constantly on high alert. You're just looking. You feel very vulnerable. So it's always better to have somebody else there with you to watch your back. I haven't had that really for the last 3 years. At least not while I've been traveling. And having a buddy can help keep your spirits up, because it's very tiring. It's quite draining doing this. Okay, so the other thing is, learn some French. Learn some French and use it. It doesn't have to be a lot. The thing that the French hate the most, and the reason why they get a bad rep for being arrogant, and they're not arrogant at all, is because people come to their country and then they think, oh, I'm just going to be able to speak English. The French, most of the French speak English, so I can just speak English, right? That's not right. They want you to honour their culture, and you're going there, to their festival where they're honouring your culture. So it's a two-way street. Learn a little bit of French. You don't even have to do it well. If it's bad French, then they'll get a laugh out of it, and you'll actually bond with them. Okay, so number 6, get your accreditation early. Don't wait till the first day of the festival. You can actually pick up your accreditation the day before the first day of festival, which not a lot of people know. Get there really early in the morning, pick it up, because the queues are ridiculous on the day. And the queues don't seem to get much smaller throughout the festival until the second week, when things are closed down anyhow. So get in there, get your accreditation early. The next one is sign up to the American Pavilion. It's the only pavilion that I know of at the festival that actually costs money to sign up to, and it is like a fair bit of money. I think it's like about $200 US or something like that. Maybe it's less, I'm not sure, I can't remember the exact amount. But the reason why it's good to sign up to them is because they have seminars. It's not just good because there's a place that you can sit down during the festival, though that's really good, that can be really cool. You can sit there and there's a chance that some celebs will come in and you'll see them, or if you're friendly and it pays to be friendly and you share your table with somebody you don't know, then you'll probably get a business card. People don't expect you to be friendly. People are so self-involved and so self-inflated a lot of the time when they go to this festival that they don't do things the right way. They're not polite, they're not approachable, which is kind of defeating the purpose. You want to be polite, you want to be approachable, you want to be one of the friendliest people at this festival, so they remember you and they want to help you. And you will get business cards. They'll pull out their business cards and you can have a little chat, and don't be too shy. Okay, so the other thing is, do the producers workshop. It might be too late this year, it doesn't matter, but hopefully people will watch this VT in future years anyhow. But do the producers workshop, because they have seminars as well. And the seminars they have are extensive, there's lots of them, they keep you really busy. Not to mention they have after hour specials, they have happy hour specials, should I say, they have after hour parties that you can go along to. And one of the best things they had is they had a distributors lunch, where you sat down at a table, like you and 5 or 6 other producers, and you get to hear directly from a distributor about what they do and whether you fit in with what they're looking for. So that's really useful. So do the producers workshop. It's really, really good. Okay, the other thing is take a day off. I know that sounds ridiculous. You're thinking, okay, I've got to go flat out, but honestly, it's hard work. It's hard work keeping up that steam. You're not you're not superhuman. You know, you're obviously talented, otherwise you wouldn't be going there. But you're not superhuman. So take a day off, take a day out. I went to Chateau de la Napoli, which is just around the coast, and it's a beautiful castle with beautiful sculptures and artwork there, and lovely gardens, and there's a nice little tea room. Also took a ferry across to one of the islands that are there, and they do these island tours, and there's a castle where they used to house the Man in the Iron Mask. So, you know, and again, that's a really interesting castle because it was a prison, but now it's been turned into a museum, and artists have come through and they've painted murals inside each of the prison cells. So that's really amazing as well. It's just worth that for a day trip. So take a day off. The other thing is, the first week is the most important week. This is something I can't stress enough. Like the first week, you know, you might think, okay, well, like, you know, I'll get on to this on the second week, or I'll start to book my meetings with pre-sales agents and agents on the second week. But by the second week, most people are packing. Most people are packing down. A lot of people have already clicked. The first week's the most important. The festival goes for 2 weeks. The Market to Film also does as well. But really, it boils down after the first week. So, I mean, you can save money if you just go for the first week anyhow, and don't even think about the second week. It's nice to be there for the whole duration, but I mean, when you're paying, you know, so much money for accommodation, maybe it's worth just to go for 1 week and then go to Paris for the second week instead, or do something else. Like, most people are gone. Most people are already packing their stalls, finishing their meetings, and jumping on planes. You know, so by the second week, it's things are cooled down. I mean, the advantage to that is sometimes if people are sticking around for the second week, you can get interviews with them, you can get meetings with them that you might not be able to get in the first week. So, you know, a little bit of planning and a little bit of forethought goes a long way there. What else? Go and see the films. I know that you might be there just for the Market to Film, to sell your film, sell your short film, whatever else, but going to the films can be an education into itself about what they're looking for for the Palme de Jour, what they're looking for in competition, the style they're looking for. Once you've seen a few films there, you realise they're really attracted to a specific style of filmmaking, which is a very 70s style of filmmaking, a very art house way of making films. So go to the actual film festival and go and see a few films, and it feels good. It's an excuse to wear that tuxedo and walk on the red carpet where you know that all of these famous people have walked in, you know, before you. It makes you feel like, you know, you finally got there. It's worth it. It really is. But, you know, be careful with that. It's a difficult system for booking tickets, and it's not, you can't really get 2 tickets. It's not like that. It doesn't work that way. You kind of, it's like you apply for the ticket, you request a ticket, but you might not get that ticket, and you certainly can't guarantee that you'll get 2 tickets. So just bear that in mind. The other thing is self-cater. Now, I can't stress this enough. I know everybody says Cannes is incredibly expensive during the film festival. I'm sure it is, but normally it's just a little fishing town. Go to Carrefour Market. It's on Rue Mendelier. Go there because for the cost of 1 meal, you can end up with shopping bags full of groceries that you can take back to your apartment. So that's another thing, is when you're booking accommodation, book accommodation that has a little kitchen. Don't just go for a hotel that has no kitchenette. Okay, like self-catering saves you so much money in the long run. So make sure that you can cook your own food if you can. And if you can't, Mar Nolan's is a really awesome little Irish pub, and they have really reasonable prices for food. You know, if you go to the McDonald's, you end up, you know, paying ridiculous amounts for really shitty food. But if you go to Mar Nolan's, you know, you can buy somebody dinner. It's cheap as chips, like, and you can get chips if you like that sort of thing. Okay, so the other thing is be polite and don't get drunk. I know that, you know, everybody gets sort of wrapped up in the spectacle of it, but if you're starting off, you know, you've got to remember, you're not a rock star. You're a filmmaker. You're a business person foremost, and you're a brand ambassador, not just for your business, but for your country while you're there. So be polite and don't get drunk. This is a mistake that a lot of people make. And it also helps as well, if you are going to take somebody, or if you're going to share accommodation, to make sure that they have the same agenda. Because if they're there to party and you're there to go see seminars and sell your movies and you know, build your brand, you're going to find that they're going to interrupt your sleep. They're going to come in late at all hours. They're going to keep you up. They're going to think that they're going to ask you to come to these parties. It's going to be very tempting not to go with them. But you know that you've got to get up early and go to these seminars. And you know, the parties are a great way to network, but like, for the cost of going to Cannes, for the return ticket, for the accommodation, it's still cheaper than a year of film school, and you'll learn way more at Cannes than you would at, you know, in a year of film school, or years of just plugging away on your own. The advice there is really invaluable. The seminars are really good. The other thing is, contact your film commission office. That's really important. If you do it quickly, it might be too late this year for you guys. Same as booking cheap accommodation, might be too late. But if you say with the New Zealand Film Commission, if you're a New Zealander like I am, they are really helpful people. They're really friendly, really sympathetic and empathic, and you know, they have their own parties which you should go to, even if you're tired. And you know, I suffer from chronic pain and chronic fatigue, so I was pretty much tired all the time. But you know, make an effort to go to them and show your face to those, because especially for the New Zealand Film Commission, they will take you by the hand. They will plonk you in front of a sales agent that, you know, once they find out what you're selling, and they'll say, talk. They'll put you together. They're like matchmakers, you know. They want you to succeed because it's good for our industry. So go and introduce yourself to them. It's probably not too late. Even if it might be too late to get into all of the, you know, their events, it's not too late to contact them and just make yourself known. And the chances are they'll let you come to those events anyhow, because they're pretty friendly people. The other thing is, go to as many of the seminars as you can. Like I say, it's not a free education. You probably end up spending $6,000–7,000 to go there and to stay, maybe more, less if you're lucky, but probably more. So go to all the seminars. It's still cheap film school. And the other thing is, like I said, the things that you learn at Cannes are the business side of it, the distribution side of it, the networking, the pitching side of it. These things are really important if you're going to go from being a independent, you know, short film maker to a independent feature film maker, or to just an established commercial filmmaker, feature filmmaker. You know, this is an evolution for you. So, you know, take their advice, go to the seminars, take as many notes as you can. You know, it's a great education. The other thing is, don't take it too seriously. I know it's a big deal. I know you've spent lots of money to get there, to go there, and you have an agenda. Like, you wouldn't go there unless you have an agenda. But don't take it too seriously. Have fun with it. Like, you know, relax a little bit. Just go with the flow a little bit. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying skip your meetings, because you know that's not going to be so good for your reputation. But you know, maybe don't just book all your time into meetings. You know, it's a hard sell to sell a short film. The chances that you'll never make the money for the trip to Cannes, especially coming from New Zealand, that you spent on the film, you're not going to make a profit on that film. It's just a promotional piece. So if you're promoting your skills and yourself, then, you know, relax. Just relax. You know, they'll see your skills if they want to see your skills. But more importantly, they want to know if they want to work with you. So they want to know if you're a nice person, if you're the type of person that they can invest in. You know, and they want to know that you're not crazy. You know, there's a lot of really off the wall, kind of insane filmmakers out there, and a lot of them get to Cannes, and they have to deal with it, like, at all levels. you know, whether it's starting or right up to the top, you know. So don't be that crazy, you know, artist, you know, with a chip on the shoulder and a massive ego that thinks that you know, it's all about you. Be humble, be friendly, and relax. Just enjoy it. It's not a once in a lifetime experience if you're going to go again and again, but it is an experience that you should enjoy. Otherwise, again, there might be other festivals that are better to go to, like, or there might be something you know, more worthwhile for you to invest your money into than going to the Cannes Film Festival. When you sign up to Market to Film, they give you your festival bag, and it's important to go pick up your festival bag. But there's two of the most important things in that festival bag. Everything else doesn't matter so much. But you know, these will help you when you're doing your packaging of your future films and for your research. You know, and really, there's nowhere else that I can think of that you can get this information aside from the Cannes Film Festival. It's really hard to find it, but this will help you with your business plans and will help you with pitching. So get the Focus booklet from the Cannes Film Festival. This is really useful. This talks about future trends. It talks about the current trends. Say like the growth of digital cinemas, the amount of 3D cinemas in each country, the most popular films, and you know, the box office films for all those countries, so you can see what's trending, what subjects are working. You know, whether it's sci-fi, fantasy, horror. Every year it seems to change. So go get this Focus. Go get Focus. And sorry about the noise. There's some earth movers, but you know, I want to make sure that you guys get this in time. The other thing, and my dogs are barking, the other thing that's really important is from your festival bag, is the funds guide. Okay, this is really important. You know, sometimes you got to make sure, like, look through your bag when they give it to you, and if it's not in there, say, hey, where's my funds guide? This tells you, especially if you're going to be doing international productions, or even if you're doing your own, just in your own local domestic area, in your own country, this tells you who to talk to, what organisations give film funding. It tells you, you know, what percentage of tax credits that you can get on your film. It tells you so much information that you can't get it anywhere else that I can think of without having to look a lot further. Sorry, these dogs are really stressing me. So yeah, that's it. I think for me, those have been the most useful things that I've learned from going to the film festival there. Hopefully it's helpful for you. And again, just have fun. Like, it's a wonderful experience to go to Cannes. The best thing is if you're traveling from New Zealand to France, is that you're going there for their spring, and it's hot, but it can also be really wet, like a jungle. You can get caught out, so like having a good umbrella is useful. Having good wet weather gear is useful. Having good shoes. What I do, because I was so hot and I had a tendency to overheat, is I'd just wear a singlet and tracksuit pants and sneakers. Excuse me. And I'd walk into the festival with my festival badge. They can't stop you no matter what you dress. They can on the red carpet. And then I'd go into the toilets with my bag full of my suit and my fancy shoes and all that kind of stuff, and I'd put that on then, because by the time I got from my accommodation to the festival, I was hot and sweaty and feeling gross. This way I can refresh in the toilet and get dressed into nice clean clothes that aren't sweaty and gross. Spray on some nice you know, aftershave or deodorant, and bam, you're in business mode, you know, and you can put all your stinky clothes in your bag and then take them back to the apartment and wash them. Also, there's not a lot of laundromats. It's really hard to find laundromats, so, you know, preferably find accommodation that has a way for you to do your washing if you're not going to be taking a lot of clothes. And I'm sure there's so many other things that I can probably, you know, give you advice on as far as the the Cannes Film Festival. Like, you know, I made a list, but you know, there's bound to be things that I've forgotten. So feel free to contact me. My contact details are at the end of this video, and I'll try and give you as much advice as I can to help you on your journey. And good luck. Good luck. You did it. You got there. Don't let anybody undermine that. Don't let family or friends or other filmmakers say, oh, it's just a short film, it's not a competition, or what, your film wasn't good enough. I've heard that. Your film wasn't good enough to go into the competition. It's hard. It's still hard to get into the short film corner. It's hard to get there in the first place. If you don't do all of that, it's hard just to prove that you're a legitimate filmmaker, you're a legitimate producer. You need evidence to do that, you know. So if you get as far as being accepted into the master film as a producer, or getting your film into the short film corner, just you take that as acknowledgement that you are the filmmaker that you believe yourself to be.
Thanks for watching this Nocturnal Customs Limited production. Find us and give us a like on Facebook, and be sure to follow us on Twitter for more posts, videos and updates. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, where we will be bringing you more regular content on filmmaking, animation, my original music, the occasional cover song, as well as more of our feature project releases as they happen. You can find out more information about us on nocturnal3d.com, or contact me directly by emailing visualnz@gmail.com. If you like, you can also follow or contact us on Twitter, where we regularly post as NocturnalNZ, or you can keep in contact by giving us a like on Facebook at Nocturnal Customs.